Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I don't know about you all, but I've been having a lot of GTA 6 delay anxiety in my brain ever since it got pushed back the last time.
And this week, that anxiety got a fresh reason to exist. Because Take-Two just locked in their next earnings call date, and something about it just made my entire gut feeling go, wait, why is it on a Friday? Why is it at 8 a.m.? So today, let's actually dig into what's really going on here. The scary theories, the hopeful theories, and what Rockstar's own history tells us about which one is more likely. Because here's the thing, this isn't just fans being dramatic for no reason. There's actual history behind this fear, including 2 delays a lot of you probably remember. So let's break it all down properly and logically instead of doom analyzing this whole situation.
I'm Lilith Raven, just your average gamer geek who loves covering Grand Theft Auto 6 and gaming news. Welcome to the Raven's Lair, and let's get into it.
So here's the actual confirmed part of this story. Take-Two announced that its next earnings call, covering the first quarter of fiscal year 2027, which runs April through June 2026, will happen on Friday, August 7th at 8 a.m. Eastern. That's it. That's the fact. Everything past that is community interpretation, and I want to be upfront about that the whole video.
Because a lot of what's circulating online treats speculation like it's confirmed news. And that's not what this channel is about, and neither would that be fair to you guys.
But the context matters here. So let's talk about why this particular date is making people nervous. A few things are unusual about this call. First, the day. Take-Two almost always schedules these calls Tuesday through Thursday. A Friday call is genuinely rare for them. Second, the time. 8 in the morning, before the market even opens, is also outside their usual pattern. They tend to report after market close or later in the morning. And third, probably the biggest reason people are paying attention, this call lands in the same window as the tail end of GTA 6's pre-order launch, which opened back on June 25th, and ahead of what Take-Two itself has already told investors would be a summer marketing push for the game.
So you've got an unusual date, an unusual time, and a game that's currently mid-hype cycle with fans desperate for a new trailer. Put those 3 things together on the internet and you get exactly what's happening right now. Speculation spiraling in every direction.
Now, here's the part that's actually fueling a lot of the anxiety, and it's worth remembering because it's easy to forget. GTA 6 has already been delayed twice. The game was originally targeted for a 2025 release. That got pushed to May 26, 2026. Then, in a later announcement, Rockstar delayed it again, this time by about 5 months, landing on the current date of November 19th, 2026.
So when people say, here we go again, they're not pulling that fear out of nowhere. This wouldn't be uncharted territory for this specific game. It would be the 3rd shift in the release timeline.
That said, 2 delays doesn't automatically mean a 3rd is coming. But it does mean the community's nervous system is a little more sensitive than usual right now, and that's exactly why an oddly timed earnings call is getting this much attention. Now, to really understand why fans are on edge, you have to look at Rockstar's own delay history, because this isn't a new pattern. It goes back almost 2 decades. Grand Theft Auto 4 was originally set to release on October 16, 2007. Rockstar and Take-Two had been promoting that date for months. Then, in early August 2007, roughly 2 months before launch, they announced a delay, pushing the game all the way to April 29, 2008.
That's the comparison a lot of longtime fans keep bringing up. A delay announced shockingly close to the original release window, after months of the date being treated as locked in.
It's part of why some fans treat any late-stage schedule surprise from Rockstar as a potential red flag. Because it's happened before, close to the finish line, with very little warning. And then there's Red Dead Redemption 2, which honestly might be the most cited example whenever GTA 6 delay talk comes up. RDR 2 was originally announced for a fall 2017 release. Rockstar delayed it once, pushing it to spring 2018. Then they delayed it a second time, and the game finally came out on October 26, 2018, about a year later than originally planned. 2 delays, same studio. And notably, Rockstar's reasoning both times came down to the same thing they've said about GTA 6's delays. They wanted the extra time to polish the game rather than rush it out the door. So when fans see an unusual earnings call date this close to GTA 6's marketing push, RDR2 is the ghost in the room. It's proof that Rockstar has, more than once, decided a release date wasn't actually final, even after fans had it circled on the calendar.
Okay, so with all that history, is a delay actually likely this time? Honestly, I don't think that there's enough solid evidence pointing that way right now.
GTA 6 is currently sitting under 4 months from its November 19th release date. Pre-orders are open. Rockstar has already said a marketing campaign is ramping up for summer. None of that is typically how a company behaves right before announcing a delay. Usually marketing quiets down, not ramps up, when a release date is in trouble. Could Take-Two still use this call to address the release date directly? Sure, they might reaffirm it, the same way they've done at past calls. But an earnings call moving to an unusual day isn't, on its own, solid evidence of bad news. It's just unusual. And unusual is catnip for online speculation.
And honestly, I want to sit on this idea for a second, because I don't think it gets talked about enough in these delay conversations.
If GTA 6 genuinely needs more time to be finished properly, not rushed, not cutting corners, but actually finished,
I would take that delay every single time, to be completely honest. And I think a lot of you would too, if you're being honest with yourselves as well.
Because think about it for a second. We've all seen what happens when a massive, generational, once-in-a-decade game gets pushed out the door before it's ready. Cyberpunk 2077 is a prime example everyone in gaming still points to.
That game had years of hype, an insane marketing budget, and a release date that had been promised over and over.
And when it actually launched, it was a mess on last-gen consoles. Bugs everywhere, missing content, broken quests, performance so bad that Sony actually pulled it from the PlayStation Store entirely. CD Projekt Red spent years afterward trying to rebuild trust with patches, refunds, and eventually a genuinely great expansion. But that trust rebuilding process took a long time, and for a lot of players, the damage to that first impression never fully went away.
That's the nightmare scenario I don't think that anyone wants for GTA 6, at least not the fans who truly love and care about this game.
This isn't just another open-world game. It's arguably the most anticipated video game release of all time, on the back of a 13-year wait since GTA 5. If Rockstar ships that game even slightly broken, the backlash wouldn't just be loud, it would follow the game for years the same way it followed Cyberpunk. So personally, if Take-Two comes out on August 7th and says they need more time, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'd genuinely rather wait a few extra months for a polished, complete game than get an unfinished version of the biggest release of the decade on day one.
Rockstar has already delayed this game twice, specifically for polish reasons, and given the alternative, I think that should be the right call every time.
Now let's actually give equal airtime to the more positive theories, because they're just as reasonable, arguably more reasonable than the delay panic. Theory 1. This call is time to reveal actual GTA 6 pre-order numbers. The quarter being reported covers April through June 2026, which includes the first few days of pre-orders after they opened on June 25th. Investors and analysts have been asking for real numbers instead of vague, outselling other games statements. And this could be the moment Take-Two finally puts hard figures behind the hype. Theory 2. The early Friday morning slot could just be a scheduling choice meant to let big news, good or neutral, breathe over a weekend instead of getting buried in a busy weekday news cycle. Companies do this intentionally sometimes. Theory 3, and the one a lot of fans are quietly hoping for. This call lines up suspiciously well with when Rockstar has dropped major marketing beats before, including trailers. It's entirely possible the earnings call and a new gameplay reveal or trailer are timed to reinforce each other, not because anything is wrong, but because Take-Two wants strong pre-order numbers and hype to land in the same news cycle.
None of these are confirmed either, I want to be clear about that, but they're just as grounded in the actual facts as the delay theories are, and a lot of the loudest voices online conveniently skip right past them.
So, if you actually want to pay attention to this call instead of just doom-scrolling reactions to it, here's what to watch for on August 7th. Whether Take-Two mentions GTA 6 pre-order performance directly, whether Strauss-Zelnick reaffirms the November 19th date in his prepared remarks, and whether there's any mention of upcoming marketing beats like a new trailer or otherwise. If the November date gets reaffirmed clearly and pre-order numbers get shared, that's about as strong a signal as fans are going to get that things are on track.
If Take-Two goes vague or dodges the release date entirely when asked, I'd say that's the moment worth paying closer attention to.
So, is GTA 6 getting delayed again? Based on everything we actually know right now, there's no hard evidence pointing that way. But given the game's own history, and Rockstar's track record with GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2, it's completely understandable why the community's guard is up. But I'm genuinely curious to know, are you expecting good news here, bad news, or just more waiting?
Drop your thoughts and comments. I always genuinely enjoy reading them. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button. It honestly helps the channel and greatly appreciated. So as always, be well, stay hyped and positive, and with that, I will see you guys on the next one.